Stop fucking lying, nigga.
Shut up, Silky.
Y'all gotta stop fucking lying.
Okay,
Why
now
are you creating? Why are you
that,
creating scenarios that niggas didn't even say?
Right.
Creating an argument and then arguing against the argument as if niggas
Let me
arguing
prove
the
the
point
point.
that
Let
you're
me prove
saying.
the point that this shit ain't a
You
scientific
ain't
law.
proving
I'm
anything.
proving the point that it's not a scientific
You're
law.
not proving anything. You're not proving anything.
It's not proven now. So now it's not proven.
First you asking the wrong question. You wouldn't even ask if electromagnetism was a law. Right? At the end of the day. Just off of that alone, motherfucker, you don't understand what it is. Is oh my goodness gracious. Can I read something for you? Can I read something for you?
Y'all need to
Can I
cut
read
this
something
shit
for
out,
you?
bro. Hey, Jeff, anybody want to read that first
No, electromagnetism is not a singular scientific law, but a fundamental branch of physics that describes the interaction between electric and magnetic fields, governed by a set of fundamental laws. Primarily the Maxwell equation. These laws, which include what's that?
Faraday's
Coulomb's law,
Lenz's law, Coulomb's law, Maxwell's law.
Faraday's law, and Perier's law, along with Maxwell's corrections, provides a comprehensive framework for understanding phenomena like electric, current, magnetic fields, and electromagnetic waves, as well as the relationship between them.
Let me read my source.
What are we talking about, bro? You asked the wrong question because that's not the question.
It is a fundamental concept.
That's because you're not asking the right questions. Ask what is Faraday's law? What is Lenz's law? What is fucking Coulomb's law? That's what you need to be asking.
The law will be something referencing to the thing. You couldn't have a law on something if it wasn't a thing. You can't have a law on something if it wasn't a thing. What are we talking about?
Let it go.
You can't have a law on something if it wasn't a thing. There's several laws on it. Several.
You mean incorporated in it? You mean there's several laws incorporated in it, but that's not a law.
No, the laws of it explain what it is and the processes of it. Stupid. You can't have a law of something that expresses how something works if it's not a thing, stupid.
In your concept.
What are you talking about?
Back to your concept again? Idiots. And you stand on that shit?
Bro, there's laws. They stood on it. Stupid is laws behind it. What are we talking about?
There's laws behind a lot of shit. That don't mean that the final shit.
No, there's no laws. There's no laws for things that don't exist, bro. There's no laws for things that don't exist, bro. What are you talking about?
So why is it a scientific law?
Pull up a law of something non-existent.
Why is it not a scientific law? Stop fucking running. Stop fucking running. Why is it not a scientific law?
It's not a law. He is
not
not a law.
Electromagnetic field not a scientific law?
Yeah, he dumb as hell. He don't even know the
because
questions
you keep saying electromagnetic field. Because you keep saying electromagnetic field, idiot. Maxwell equation unifies electricity and magnetism into a single theory. One single theory. Nigga, Lenz's law.
Back to a theory now.
Nigga, all this shit come from theories.
Scientific theories, bro, which could be observed in the field, have been observed, have been measured.
You're almost there.
That's what a scientific theory is, right? Shit that has been observed and measured in the field. That's what a scientific theory is, brother. What are you talking about? It's not like a regular theory, my nigga. It's cocoon like.
Hang on. See, the thing about it, see, this is the thing. Right? See, this is the thing. Electromagnetism is governed by the laws of magnetism.
Right.
Electromagnetism is governed by the laws of magnetism.
Is it a law? Yes or no?
In the same way that heat is governed by the laws of thermodynamics.
I don't care what governs your electromagnetic field.
Yo,
I don't care about
what governs it. With a nigga that don't know. A law. And he don't know. At the end of the day, he gonna stand on stupid.
A scientific law, yes or no?
Yes, magnetism is law. Magnetism is the laws of science. The laws of magnetism are scientific law. Yes.
I thought,
The
hold
law.
on. Did you not hear what I said? I said the
law.
electromagnetic field. Now you talking about magnetism?
No, the electromagnetic field. The electromagnetic field is
So now he
governed.
want to break it down and take bits and pieces apart from the shit and make them stand alone, like it's not a part of the thing.
Electromagnetic field is governed by the laws.
That's foul.
No,
This
he
nigga
didn't do that
dumb.
shit because
This
then
nigga dumb.
he's violating Faraday's law of induction. See,
Right.
and this is my whole thing. He's violating the laws of Faraday when it comes to induction because they talking about the change in the magnetic flux. You know what I'm saying? That turns that into EMP voltage. So that like Faraday's law. When you take Faraday's law and then you take Maxwell's law, okay, Maxwell.
An equation.
Bruh, when you take Maxwell's law,
Yo, I ain't never seen a nigga so beefed up about their old ignorance, bro. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. Hey, yo, I'm about to do a live, yo.
Don't cry to us, nigga.
I'm about to do a live. I'm about to do a live. I'm gonna talk about your ass live while we do a demonstration.
How can you sit here and say that?
You ain't got no life.
How can you sit there and say that when in the face of Maxwell's equations?
Hold on. Do you need me to read my source again? You need me to read this for you again? Do y'all not comprehend? Let's read it again. Let me read my source again.
No, obviously.
Is the electromagnetic field a scientific law? No. The electromagnetic field is not a scientific law.
Because you're saying the electromagnetic field. That's like saying is a sound wave a law. That's like saying is an ocean wave a law. That's like saying is the tree branch a law. That's like saying is like nigga, what are you saying?
I'm telling you, it's not a law, nigga. You got a fundamental concept.
I'm a stab him in his hole. That's like saying heat is a law instead of saying heat is governed by the laws of thermodynamics.
So is heat not a law? You saying heat's not a law?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Heat is governed by the laws of thermodynamics, stupid.
Governed by thermodynamics, right? So is there electromagnetic field? Is that scientific law or is it a concept?
It's a concept.
Who said that?
That's the first out of things you said.
Far for Silky trolling too tough right now.
That was loud though, bro.
He's really not trolling. He really stupid.
You said the concept. Don't argue with you dumbass about concepts.
Look, man, I'm gonna shut my screen too, bro.
At some point, we got to start calling a spade a spade.
Hey,
Stupid is
that shit a concept. And your own guy said it's a concept. So why are you still talking?
Every idea that you have is a concept.
It's a concept that is governed by laws, just like heat is.
Okay, well, Silky, you were the one that explicitly said that heat is a law and heat is absolutely
we got laws, nigga. Your shit ain't a law, but we got laws, nigga. Now, when your shit become a law, then you can fucking talk about it. But until then, nigga, stop wasting our time with fucking concepts and theories.
Silky, when heat becomes a law, then you can talk about that. When heat becomes a law, you can talk about that. Since you brought up heat, don't talk about heat until heat becomes a law. Get you with your own stick. Get you with your own stick.
So I'm gonna read this right here. I'm gonna read this right here. I'm gonna read this right here. It says the laws of electromagnetism are fundamental principles that describe the basic. That describe the behavior of electric and. Listen, it says the laws of electromagnetism are fundamental principles that describe the behavior of electric and magnetic fields and their interaction with charges and matter. They include Faraday's law of induction, which states that a change in magnetic field induces an electric field. I'm going to repeat that again. Faraday's law of induction. Faraday's law of induction, which states a changing magnetic field induces an electric current. So that right there is important. It says in Lorentz law.
This nigga, he don't do in the Abrahamic faith shit. He straight science. I tell you, nigga, smart.
Lorenz law, which specifies the direction of this induced current as opposing the change that it causes. It says other fundamental laws, other foundational laws include Coulomb's law, which describes the force between electrical charges and the collective sets of principles known as the Maxwell equation. So Coulomb was using Maxwell's equation, which unifies electricity and magnetism.
Here you
All
go.
you gotta do is follow the
hold on, electricity God. Is that what you're saying, Lorel?
What?
Are you saying that electricity is God? Is that what you're saying, Lorel?
Is that what I said?
You said electricity would be. You know, I was agreeing with you on everything until you said. I thought I heard you say electricity would be like basically God.
When did you hear me say that?
Was he scared to say it now? Are you scared to say God is light?
No, he didn't ask me that.
So you ain't never said that, L'Oreal?
He didn't ask me that.
No,
but you don't want to tell him.
That's not what he asked me though.
So I basically want to ask you.
No, that's not what he asked me though.
L'Oreal, would you consider energy? Would you consider, I guess, the sun,
God.
or would you consider that to be God because that's energy that actually gives off life?
I consider the sun to be a God.
Okay, I like that. I can rock with that. I can rock with that. Because all things work for the greater good, right?
I can't rock with that.
Why can't you rock with that?
You can't rock with your man flipping on you?
Did the Creator create the sun?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so did he appoint it to do a job?
And I wanted to point out earlier.
Did he appoint it to do a job? Its job is to come out for the daytime, right? Without it, it's no daytime, right? So it's been appointed with
God is like
having a job. As a job.
You was heavy with it yesterday, nigga. You couldn't wait to talk about it to old girl.
Yeah, but look, it has a job to do to help sustain life. So would we call it a God? Yeah, I would. Because that's what a God does, right? It helps sustain life,
God's
right?
Creation.
Yes, it is God. The most. It's the highest God. It's the creator of all creations. You see what I'm saying?
No.
It's a God because it's been appointed. It's been appointed to play a position. Without the sun, would you be living?
No, but it's
would
not
you be
a
living
God.
If we didn't have a sun?
It is a God.
The sun is God's creation.
The sun is endowed with power and force. How is it not God?
Come on, man.
So I want to point out real quick, this was a verse that I was trying to read.
There's a son that's responsible for the
man, you pulling out the Quran, ain't
you? Yeah. This was a verse I wanted to read when y'all brought up the concept that
okay.
The sun
Hey, Jesse, I do want to tell you something that I did learn when I was locked up because I read some of your Quran, so I will let you know. But go ahead and tell me.
So first, this is over the concept about the sun having a consciousness. It says then he directed himself to the heaven while it was still smoke and said to it and the earth, come into being willingly or by compulsion. They said we come together willingly. So I wanted to point out that in Islam we believe that the sun and the earth have their that they're
Might
conscious.
mute out.
I'm gonna hit my cash app or stuff like that.
Somebody hit mute out.
I would disagree with your guys, Jesse. This is the reason why. I just want to give you the emphasis of why. So you do understand that Allah is God in Arabic, right? But when you go into the Aramaic, his name is Allah. And when you go into the Hebrew, he's Elohim, which the Elohim is a group of gods. So that means if we saying Allah mean the same thing as Elohim, you're serving a pantheon of gods, but you're calling them one. Now I can show you that your God Allah, he comes from the Igbo pantheon, and he's the concept. He comes from the Igbo pantheon, and Chugwu is the head of his pantheon or her pantheon. Are you aware of that?
So I am aware that.
Only thing I want to correct y'all, it's Chukwu don't got no pronoun.
Huh?
Chuku don't have a pronoun, brother. It's not a him or a her.
I'm aware that
that's correct.
I'm aware that they put Allah in pantheons,
gender.
but I just want to make clear that Allah did not give no authority for this, and that's what the Quran says.
Allah can't give authority over the guys that's over him.
Brother,
that's what I'm trying to bring out to you, Jesse.
Allah.
Look, the Abrahamic faith, what they did is they erased some things, right? Yo, them guys that they pulling from Yahweh to Allah, they are pulling them from pantheons. I could show you where, like I was just bringing out, they pulled out Allah. He's in the Igbo pantheon, but he's also in the Arabic pantheon, and you'll find out that he's the same deity as Yahweh. So he's representing the moon. Your God that you are representing is a moon.
My God.
That's why when they come with the Torah, yo, your book confirms the Torah, right?
It's a moon,
right
there. Like that's the reason why the Islamic symbol is a moon, bro.
It's a moon
because it's a lunar deity.
No.
And to show him further, I was telling him this earlier, Larell. When you look at the origins of the word Torah, where it come from, the root word it come from Yah-Ra. These are two gods being merged together. You got the god Yah, which is a moon god, and you got Ra, which is a sun god, and they being merged. This is where they get the Torah from. You can look it up.
Torah meant adoration for Ra.
Nah, the root word to Torah, where they get it from. They get it from Yah-Ra, which is showing that the moon god and the sun god. This is what the Bible is about. It's about the Father and the Son.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read this this verse real quick. This is Quran 674, and I'm gonna read on. It says, "And remember when Abraham said to his father Azar, 'Do you take idols as gods?' It is clear to me that you and your people are entirely misguided."
You know who Azar is? Do you know who Azar is?
Daddy. Azar
no, that's not. It's Osiris. Osiris is Osiris.
Azar. A-Z-A-R.
Yes, that's Osiris. That's his name.
That's Abraham's father.
When I know, and that's his name. His name Azar. You looking at Azar? That means Osiris as well. That's why Lazarus' name is switched from El. His name is El. Lazarus' real name. His name is El Osiris.
I studied that shit.
His name going to the god Osiris. That's who he really is.
Now let me continue to read.
You have to dive into it. All right, brother. I see you tomorrow.
It says,
"Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, I left that train of thought a while ago, but I know what you're talking about, bro."
I'm gonna continue to read.
My phone's still on, but it
says,
okay. 463 315 1091. Okay, that's this one that I'm on right now. It's her.
315.
Yep.
Okay. Just in case, so I was texting yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't think this is.
Yeah.
And I think it is this one, but
yeah.
I'll get.
Yep. 430. Okay.
All right. So this is what it says. It says, "Also showed Abraham the wonders of the heavens and earth, so that he would be sure in faith. When the night grew upon him, he saw a star and said, 'This is my Lord.' But when it had set, he said, 'I do not love things that set.' Then he saw the moon rising. He said, 'This one is my Lord.' But when it disappeared, he said, 'If my Lord does not guide me, I will certainly be one of the misguided people.' Then when he saw the sun shining, he said, 'This must be my Lord. It's the greatest.' But again, when it set, he declared, 'Oh, my people, I totally reject whatever you associate with Allah in worship. I've turned my face towards the one who has originated the heavens and the earth, being upright, and I am not one of the polytheists.' And the people argued with him. He responded, 'Are you arguing with me about Allah while he has guided me? I am not afraid of whatever idols you associate with him. None can harm me unless my Lord so wills. My Lord encompasses everything in his knowledge. Will you not be mindful?'"
Quran 673.
This is
Quran. That's Muhammad. That's Muhammad talking, right?
That's Abraham talking.
Yeah, but then Abraham have to run the fuck up out of there.
So
I'm just saying, like, if the Lord protected him, why would he have to leave? Why would he just have to stay in the midst of the motherfuckers and vanquish the evil? But instead, he didn't. He left.
Yeah, he did.
He left his father. He left his father's people.
Because he did not associate with what they associated with.
Well, no, it's because that nigga couldn't change shit there. Like, nigga, his God wasn't stronger than that guy, or else he would have been
He
able to
was.
stay there. No, he wasn't,
He
nigga.
destroyed their idols.
He just like any other prophet, nigga. His own people shunned that shit, and I'm sure that they ran his punk ass up out of town, just like they ran all the other prophets up out of
Nah,
town.
he left willingly.
I mean, yeah, that they saying that shit because they're sympathizers to the story. You see what I'm saying? But it just like any other prophet in history, most of the time, the prophet's own people are the one that shuns him first. They're the ones that are most critical about him. Just like Jesus, just like Muhammad, just like Malcolm X, just like Martin Luther King. It's the same shit. And nothing. There's no difference. So why would Muhammad be any different? Or
So this,
Abraham?
That shit true all the way up to the
I
holy
agree. I
prophet
agree with you.
Tupac.
I
Yeah,
agree with you that they
that's what I'm
denied him.
saying. It's true all the way around the board. So why would it be any different? Abraham ass had to get the fuck up out of Dodge because he was talking that heretic shit amongst his people, and them niggas ran him the fuck up out of there. They just wrote in that motherfucker because he became the father of all those nations. You know, allegedly became the father of all those nations. They want to talk about the nigga in good light.
So I just want to point out that please take heed to what these verses say. Um, that these verses are declaring that Abraham received guidance that the sun, the moon, and the stars were not God, and he did not associate what the people around him associated with as gods, and I'm literally telling y'all the same thing, just as Abraham told his people.
Yeah, but we know.
Jesse, we're not telling you that those are gods.
No,
None of
that's
those
what the
things.
brothers just said.
Listen, none of those things you mentioned, like the sun, the moon, and the stars, exist without electromagnetism, bro. None of that exists.
Right. If you and see, he asked
No,
me, do I think those are gods? But my definition of a God is something of power and force. You see what I'm saying? So when you ask me that, is the sun God? Well, it's a God. It's most definitely a God in
it's
this
not.
solar system. It is.
Uh,
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
Listen,
endowed with
all over
power
the
and
world,
force.
in different spiritual systems and shit like that, that the sun is most
Yeah,
definitely
they
a god.
worship. They worship it.
You know what I'm saying? So is the moon, so is the stars. I mean, that's not
Yeah, they
what we're
God.
saying. I mean,
Right.
we're not telling you that the sun is God. We're not telling you that the moon is God, neither the stars. We're saying
I'm
God is.
not telling you to worship the sun. We're
Yeah,
not telling you to worship the
we're not
moon.
telling you to worship electromagnetism either.
We're not telling you to worship electromagnetism.
We're just simply saying that God is light, light is electromagnetism in the fullness thereof. That is the tangible evidence, tangible aspect of God.
no. Laurel and Yah were saying that the sun is a god. He
It
said
is
something.
a God
Yeah,
because it's endowed with power and force.
right.
No,
Just like the ocean is a God because
no.
it's endowed with power and force.
Allah is the only God. There is no God.
Oh
There,
man.
there is no God in
Yeah,
our.
Well,
yeah,
when you're
but
talking about God, when you're talking about God in that sense, you're talking about the Almighty, all powerful, all
light upon light.
encompassing God.
I
Right. You're talking about the light upon light God. You're talking
right.
about the unknowable God. That's what you're talking about. The
The
real
only
most
God.
high. That's what you're Yeah, you're talking that's what you're talking about. But what we're talking about are other gods, other administrators that are over these realms, and the sun is most definitely the protector over this realm.
But
You don't
it's
want,
not a
you just
God.
don't want to.
I'm,
It is a god.
it's God's creation.
I mean, God create gods.
No, no, no,
God didn't create the gods.
no.
Oh, okay.
The sun, the moon, and the stars are all subject to Allah's
So,
command.
so let me get this right. So in every other fucking ancient tradition dealing with man, all the gods have other gods that make them most of the time. And you're saying your God is something different, even though your God come from indigenous people too.
what I'm saying is my God has clarified what it takes to be a God, and he declared that.
No. Your
Yeah,
God didn't do
because
that. Man
it's
did
the
that.
confirmation. It's the
Man did
confirmation
that. Man wrote your book. God ain't did shit.
with
Man wrote
Allah.
your book.
It's a confirmation from Allah that
No, it's
declares
not. No, it's
yes.
not. How do you know? How you know if it's a confirmation from Allah if you ain't never physically talked, spoke, or did anything with Allah? You don't know that. How can you know? Like this, if you knew a confirmation from and knew was because I gave you this particular handshake, right? But you would have to actually know the handshake, though, wouldn't you? You would have to actually physically meet me to know the handshake, right? You have to meet somebody else to know the handshake. You don't have nothing to confirm something is from Allah because Allah don't have a signature for you to be like, oh yeah, that's Allah. Because if that's the case, Allah sent me to tell you to put $1,500 in my fucking Cash App, and I dare you to go against Allah's word.
Allah ain't tell you that.
Yes, Allah the fuck did, and in fact, Islam tell you to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. When a person come ask you for it, you're supposed to give it up, but you're going against the tenets of Allah. You're going against the tenets of Islam. See, that's my
Incorrect.
whole point. Okay. What does your Quran tell you about charity? What does it
It
talk
tells you
about?
to give.
What does it say about wealth and having wealth? Pull up those verses. Let's test to see if what you're doing is real Islam.
It
Don't
says
laugh.
give to those who don't ask.
Give to those who don't have. I don't have it.
No, don't ask.
Nah, it didn't say that. And if that's the case, then you should have been giving out all that shit, nigga, freely, nigga, without motherfuckers asking. And you ain't doing that shit now, are you? So again, now go take your ass in that book and find them verses about wealth, having wealth, and what you're supposed to do when you have wealth. Go ahead. I dare you.
I got you. I'm about to pull a Quran verse right now.
Don't make me go get them.
You pull yours, I'm
But
pull
I
mine.
will.
Give me a second.
It says the act of giving charity is compared to seeds that sprout with Allah multiplying and the reward manifold. This highlights the spiritual growth and divine blessing for generous givers. Believers are instructed to give from the good things that they earn, not the inferior items that they themselves could not accept. This emphasizes the sincerity and the quality of giving. Charity should not be accompanied by reminders of the act or hurtful words. It also crucial to give with a pure intention, not to show off, and with genuine faith in Allah in the last day. Secret versus public. While public charity is good, private giving to the needy is even better as it atones for sins and is more pleasing to Allah. Those who spend their wealth in charity day and night, both secretly and openly, will receive their reward from Allah, feeling no fear of grief. You heard that? Let me read that shit again. This says again, it says rewards for charity. Those who spend their wealth in charity day and night, both secretly and openly, will receive the reward from Allah, feeling no fear or grief. You hear that? Don't that shit make you feel good to have no fear or grief, nigga? Knowing that Allah got your back for giving me that $1,500? It says this verse warns against consuming wealth unjustly and engaging in corruption to enrich oneself, particularly when one believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment. You want me to keep going?
Those are beautiful verses. I would love for you to keep going.
No, you know I ain't gonna keep on reading that propaganda, man. My whole point is, nigga, that's tending to your fucking religion, nigga. But nah, I'm good. You ain't gotta send me that 1,500. I'm fucking with you.
All
I
right.
mean, but if you just want to send it out of charity, nigga, you could secretly just send it. You could secretly send it if that make you feel good and make you want to be one with Allah. Or you could just be a dirtbag sinner like you always been.
Crazy, Lorel.
So you want me to send you my Cash App in your inbox, or you want me to just put it in the chat?
I ain't sending nothing to you, brother.
Okay. So you saying
you
fuck
ain't in no
Allah?
need of charity.
So you saying fuck Allah? So you saying fuck Allah? That's what you saying.
I ain't
Fuck
saying that.
what the Quran say.
No,
No,
I
that's what
ain't.
your actions doing. You ain't gotta say it. Actions speak louder than words.
Nah, my
He said
actions ain't
give with a
saying
good heart. He said give with a good heart. Knowing that you gonna get your shit returned from Allah, not from man, not from me, brother, from Allah. It sounds like you going against the tenets of Allah, man. What Islamic group you with?
I ain't in no group. I'm just Muslim.
And what mosque you go to?
The Falah Masjid, and also I currently
The Falah Mosque. Oh, you go to the Masjid. Okay. My cousin belongs to the Masjid.
and also go to Al Farouk.
That's interesting. And that's the one in California, right? The one in Sacramento.
No, this is Texas.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's why I'm in Texas.
Yeah, Houston.
Yeah.
Let me see what I got. Let me see what verses I got.
Anyway, man, you gotta learn how to be a good Muslim nigga and learn how to do charity properly, bro. That's real Islam. That's why I told you that Sufi shit. That's why most of them niggas take vows of poverty and shit and give up all their shit and devote all their time to praise and worshiping Allah and becoming one with Allah and leaving their egos behind. But I see that that's not what the fuck you want. You don't want to get close to Allah. You like the spirit of mammon cesspooling and festering in your life. I get it. Money's cool. It's fun.
All right, I ain't got no verses for you.
I'm just saying, I know, because all of them tell you to give up that shit. That's why I said this shit. I'm like, nigga, the Quran tell you to just give all your shit up. Nigga trying to rob you, get that nigga that shit so he don't commit no sin against Allah. That's literally like the Muslim way, nigga. You steal my car, no, you can have it. Here you go, brother. Allah, peace be up unto him, nigga. Allah Akbar, all that shit. And leave that nigga on his way. That's how y'all supposed to be. You ain't supposed to be enslaving motherfuckers and stealing shit and charging people interest and all that stupid shit. All that shit is against Islam.
Correct. Well, not the enslaving part, but
I was about to say enslaving people is against Islam is false.
yeah, not that part.
No, it's against the core of Islam.
Enslaving people is false. There's slavery.
There's laws around it.
Nah, that's
No.
that. I just told you that's the colonialized Islam. We already went over that. The true essence of Islam is Sufism. We already went over that, bro.
No.
Well, let's not act like we didn't just research that shit.
Sufism is not it, brother.
It is. It's the core. It's the heart of Islam. That's why. That's why the niggas
Islam
is
is the heart
doing
of
all that
Islam.
meditation and shit.
No.
Chanting and meditation and doing all that tribal shit is because that's the essence. That's the real core coming directly from the downtrodden people, the ones that actually took the vow to Allah. You know what I'm saying? They're not corporate rich motherfuckers, colonialistic motherfuckers. Those Sufi motherfuckers don't believe in imperialistic shit. They don't believe in conquering other people. They don't believe in forcing religion on other people. They don't believe in enslaving other people. That's why Sufis don't have slaves.
They don't believe in forcing their religion on other people.
Fuck no, not
That's correct.
Sufism. I'm talking about
No,
Sufism,
no
sister,
Muslim
not
does.
As
Sunni.
I'm talking,
You thinking of Sunni
as
Islam
far
and
back as I
Shiite?
can go with what I understand about Islam and the spread of Islam, it has been forceful.
Yeah,
All
but
right, well,
that's not the
have you
teachings
ever
of
learned
Islam.
about Sufism?
My dad
We
is an
just talking.
imam. I was raised Muslim.
So sister, you ain't
So
never heard that verse that there's no
that's what I'm saying.
compulsion in the religion.
I was
The
dealing with
Bible is
Islam too growing up. You know what I'm saying? And
falsehood.
my auntie was Orthodox Muslim, Sunni Muslim, and we never
Mo-
talked about the Sufi shit. We never even brought up the Sufi shit. Like it wasn't until I got away from her that I learned about Sufism and the essence of Islam and where it comes from. Like that. That's how I learned about the shit. You know what I'm saying? Being involved with it, but my own studies came, about Sufism to me, and Sufism is the mystic. It's the mystic sect of the religion. So anytime you deal
what
with a
does it have to
religion,
do
you
with
want to deal with the
spreading
mystic
Christianity
sect
though?
because that's where all the real information is. That's where all the true worship and devotion is within the mystic sect.
Okay. I don't know what mysticism has to do with them spreading their religion with force, but
So
That was
I
the
just want to
Sunnis
say
and the
real quick.
Shiites. That wasn't the
I want to say
Sufis.
real quick
there
that
wasn't
that
even none of that even existed in the fashion that you're speaking. Well, who was that talking? Somebody else. But um it didn't even exist in that form when Islam was just beginning to even exist as a religion. It was being spread with force.
incorrect.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Okay.
So I would like to say there's a Quran verse that says there is no compulsion in the religion. The right way has been made clear from falsehoods. So with that being said, there is no compulsion in the religion. Now don't get me wrong. The Prophet Muhammad made Islam. And I also want to point out that even though even though slavery is permissible in Islam, it's a charity to free a slave.
It of course it's a charity to free a slave. Did you hear what you just said?
It's a charity to free us. Bro, did you hear what
Yeah,
you
that's
just
what I
said?
said.
Of course it's
Yeah,
a
I said that.
charity to free someone.
So you
All right.
okay with
So
the
she
fact
agrees.
that they agree and condone slavery? You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
You trolling
Um
right now or you dead ass?
No, nigga, he
No,
said this
no.
shit multiple times. It's not the first time he said that.
Oh, you really okay with slavery?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. He's good with that. He want his own slaves.
Exactly, I do. Inshallah.
So you okay if somebody enslaved you?
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
Oh,
wouldn't be
so
a
it's not
slave owner.
okay for somebody to enslave you, but it's
no. He a
okay
No,
for
Muslim. He's
you.
one of Allah's people. They got the right to enslave your ass.
Oh,
yeah,
so you
I
feel
wouldn't be
that
the
you have
slave
the
owner.
right to enslave.
I don't want to be enslaved.
Yeah, of course. But you got the right to enslave
What
somebody else
makes you think that it's okay to enslave someone else?
because
Because
Allah
it's part of
permits
my
it.
religion.
Told you.
Exactly. Allah
So you
permits it.
don't mind following the religion that tells you that it's okay to enslave people and treat them
Yeah, he
inhumanely?
already answered that one. Yeah, he want his own slave.
Yeah. Christian does the same.
Yeah, Christians absolutely do the same. I'm not a Christian.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm an atheist. But
This is biblical practice. Who am I as a believer to
what
say it's
makes you?
wrong?
My question is, what makes you want to choose to believe in something as such?
Because I'm all in. I'm not no halfway
So you
believer. I believe in my Lord. I believe that He sent the previous revelation, and I'm not going to go against it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real believer.
So you're a real believer, but that's not answering my question. I'm trying to get down to the like what in your mind said, okay, this religion was presented to me and their book condones these things that are not okay, but I think that they're okay because I believe in this book. How is that like how did you get to that logical reasoning there that you choose to believe in out of all religions that you should believe in, mind you, you chose Islam specifically.
Well, Islam is the
And
best one. Islam
what
is
makes
the
it the
best
best one?
religion. Yep, and as far as morals
What
and
makes it
things
the
like
best one
that,
though?
it was designed to basically um, conquer the other religions or above all the other religions. It was designed that way.
Well, you do know that there is no Islam without Christianity.
But Christianity
So if,
is
if
a
Christianity never
derogatory
existed, there
term.
would be no Islam.
Yeah, but Christianity is a derogatory term to describe the people who follow Christ. Um, I think Jesus himself is a Muslim. I believe that all the prophets were Muslims, and when I say this, I mean those who submit their will to God. So this is what it means to be Muslim, and I've submitted my will to God. So with that being said, like I'm not going to go against what my book says, even though I might not fully comprehend. Uh,
That's because your book is God,
So
bro.
you're okay with not fully comprehending something
He just said
and
that
just
shit.
yep.
believing?
Yeah,
Say again.
That's what he just said.
You're okay with fully not comprehending something and just saying fuck it, I'm
yeah,
gonna just believe this,
yeah. He just said
and
that.
that's just what it
Right.
is.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm 100% believer, even though there's look, I believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the truth is, I don't know why God decided to do some of the things that He's done, but I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going to go against it.
That don't sound like man to you, bro.
That nothing of that makes you feel like you don't have the answer to the questions that you may seek or wonder about.
uh, well, like I said, I take my moral judgments and my moral understanding from the Quran. I think what man's moral understanding and judgments are based off of man, and they can be changed with time. Mines are kind of concrete; they're set in
They
stone. They
not
ain't going
concrete.
nowhere.
That shit was created by
No,
man, bro. What are you talking about?
it was set down by
No, it wasn't.
God
No, it
to
wasn't.
the Prophet
No, it
Muhammad.
wasn't.
Well, you might
I'm
disagree,
ready to
but
argue with you. I'm ready to argue with you that the Quran wasn't even written in his lifetime.
I agree it wasn't written in his type lifetime.
So how the fuck he write some
His
shit?
his
It wasn't even comprised in his lifetime.
it was com- it was comprised during
Jesse,
the life of the
Jesse,
companions.
not Naga telling you that enslavement should charge you up enough to shock the life out of motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So you would enslave black people, is that, or would you enslave
Say again.
anybody?
Any people, it don't matter.
Oh, it
They
don't
not
matter.
racist. They'll enslave anybody. Yeah,
They'll
Yeah.
enslave anyone. Okay.
How's it going?
And
yeah.
so when you
Yeah,
say you would
yeah. Thank you.
enslave them, like you mean
How's
that
it
you
going?
will also like beat and rape them and all of that too?
No.
Everything that go with it.
That's
No.
subjective. That Muslims usually
That's
don't
outside the
beat
fold of
and
Islam.
rape their slaves like that.
Yeah,
Or at least they're
exactly.
not
And
supposed to.
yeah, exactly. And the brother was
So you
And they was
okay with
turning them boys
young?
into
You
girly
agree
men.
with
What we
old
talking about?
men marrying young children too?
huh?
Yeah, that's permittable too. But he might not like them. But yeah, that's permittable too.
But I mean, but my thing is, you believe in something, but you in the same breath will say, "I believe in this," but although it may not align with my moral compass or may not align with my particular beliefs or
Yeah. He
feelings,
gonna have
but
cognitive
negate
dissonance to
that
it. That's right.
and say, "Well, regardless of that," because in my mind I know that that's not right. No old man should be marrying my daughter. So now let me ask you, do you have a daughter?
Yeah, I do.
So you would be okay with a grown ass man? marrying your 13, 12-year-old daughter?
Yeah, he'll marry
No, I
to
wouldn't.
him.
You
You
wouldn't.
will marry her
But
up
your
to
but your
him, nigga. That's
Quran
part
says
of y'all
that
shit.
that's a part of your thing though. You just said you believe in it to the
Of
fullest.
course you would, man. Don't go
Yeah,
against the Quran,
So
a
you
part of
man.
my
can't
thing.
go against the Quran.
Part of my
Why are
thing
you
is
not
also to
arranging
follow the
your
laws
daughter
of
to
the
be
land.
married to a grown man?
No,
Ain't
a
it?
part of
You
my
know he
part
gonna
of
take
my
care of her.
a part of my
Yeah, I'm
belief.
about to. Don't they start off like as early as 12 years old or something like that?
Yeah.
So a part of my
Why
belief
are
is
you not
also to
arranging
follow the
that?
laws of
What
the
you mean a
land.
part of your belief? So you just
No, not
a
a part.
part-time believer?
You're cherry picking then, because you just
No,
said
I'm not.
earlier you
I
believe it to
follow
the
all the
fullest
laws.
extent. And you okay? So
I
then
think it's
why
you
are
that
you not
cherry picking.
arranging your daughter to be married for a
Inshallah,
grown man to
I
marry
might
her?
arrange my daughter to get married if that's that might be something that I do, but it's not. It's going to be of a person that she likes and that I choose, or
That's
Well, you
not.
know,
But
like
that's
ain't got
not
nothing to
how
do
that
with it.
go.
it
Because it
does.
don't
That's that
matter
ain't
who
got nothing
she
to do with
like,
like.
because then she would
No,
go
it
out and
does.
find her own
No, it
man,
does.
and then she would go out and marry
She
the
don't
man
have the
that she
wisdom
feel
to
like
know who
she
the hell
wants.
she like. That's what the father is
No,
there
it does
for
matter.
to know. It does not.
No, it does. If she decides
Man, you being a
she
bad
doesn't,
Muslim and a bad example, bro.
if she decides that she doesn't want the person,
Then that's tough
she's with
titty. She
she's
gonna have to
within her
swallow
right.
that
No,
bullet.
no. That's
I
Well,
where
know
no,
plenty
no,
of
y'all.
you're
That's
going
where
Muslims.
y'all
against
are
your Quran
misunderstanding.
because that's not how they practice that.
Look, man, it
They
sounds
Look,
practice
like
that
your
sister,
it
ass
don't
is
matter what the
backsliding.
daughters say.
sister.
An arranged
Sound
marriage
like
is
you
arranged
It sound like you
marriage,
cherry
and
picking
that's
a
what
little
it's
bit.
gonna
I ain't
be.
the
Yeah,
smartest nigga in the
go
world, but it sounds like you cherry picking.
Yeah.
Not cherry picking because
Sounds
You
ultimately,
cherry
sound like
picking to
you a
me.
part-time Muslim.
look,
You
No,
ain't
it's
no
not.
whole
It's
Muslim,
not
nigga.
cherry picking
are y'all
because it
gonna
ain't cherry season. He apple
y'all gonna
picking
listen?
right now.
Y'all gonna listen?
Yeah.
Right, nigga. Nigga, you picking watermelons, nigga.
See,
So
this
I
is
just want to
why.
point out that there is no compulsion in marriage. That in Islam, if a woman wants to get divorced, she has every right to get divorced, and she has every right to
No, she
choose.
don't.
Yes, she does. You might want to, sister. You might instead of just going against what I'm saying, you might want to look a little further into the religion
Yeah, he's talking.
because
You got to understand. There's different denominations of Islam, the same way there's different
Okay.
denominations
because
of
the
That's true
women
Hold
too.
on, hold
women
on,
in
hold on,
Islam.
hold on, hold on. I got a question
they have a right to choose
regarding.
on this.
Okay, so you're telling me Aisha had a right to leave Muhammad after following him around the Kaaba and he pushed her, causing her extreme pain. She had the right to leave her, right?
Say
Uh,
again. I didn't hear what you said.
Now that was his slave wife, right?
Aisha was the child wife.
Child died.
Mm.
Yeah, Aisha had every right. If she wanted to leave or divorce, it would have been permissible.
So why is it
Man,
that the
what
bruise
you
was
mean to whoop
interpreted
her?
as a sign of holy action that was on her arm, on her chest, if I'm not mistaken? She experienced bruises.
Brother, I have no idea what you're talking about.
She got she
I'm not
got
even
pushed
gonna. I'm not even
forcefully
gonna ask
by Muhammad after following. You got to
for
remember,
your
there's
hadith.
like a 40-year, age gap.
For your hadith.
She's following. Okay, I will. I'll share the chat. But what you're going to read is an instance when Muhammad pushed her forcefully for trying to follow him around the Kaaba at a period when he's receiving a revelation. So when
Pull your
she
hadith.
encounters him, he
Pull
pushes
your
her.
hadith, or
I,
pull it from Sunnah.com or the Quran.com. Don't make sure it's not. Make sure it's not make sure it's not from Wiki
yeah, cause
Islam.
irrelevant.
yeah, cause
No, it is
word.
because
like
Wiki
like
Islam
I'm
doesn't
not
have
I'm
correct
not a
sources on these
religious
matters.
person at all. I don't follow any religion at all. And being that I don't do that is why I can look at it and say there is a difference between Sunni, Shiite, and I forgot what the other one is. They all it's
Okay.
just like a Baptist and a Pentecostal don't practice the same thing, even though they technically read from the same book. The same way
Right.
The Catholics don't practice the same thing, even though they read from the same book. So we can't lump that's like
Sometimes.
we can't lump all of these different denominations in all because they have because they Islam.
Well, with
Okay.
Islam, the denominations are distinguished by means of understanding of law, understanding of the Quranic laws.
Right.
So
Right. Which is
different
interpretation.
fractions
Which is
different fractions have
interpretation.
different interpretations
Right.
regarding actions and conduct. based off of the same text.
Right.
And with that being said, I'm pretty sure we can find somewhere in the world where there is a Jewish or a Christian sect that take the word literal, and if they catch their wife having an affair, they're gonna stone her to death because that's their interpretation.
No, that's what they doing. Muslims too. That's definitely going
That's
on in Muslim
definitely going
countries.
on in Muslim
They do honor
communities.
Yeah,
killings.
that's
It
definitely
actually
going on in Muslim
currently goes
countries.
on in
Yeah,
That's a
you
Islam.
thing
have
for real.
Now,
you
pull
have
your Quran
community
verse that we
stoning,
veto
and
that.
you don't have to pull up
So
community,
Jesse,
or
do
you
you
can
believe in
just
honor
pull up.
killings?
Hold on. Just pay attention to what he said. He said pull up a Quranic verse or a hadith on that. We're talking about instances that are still actively going on in
And you're right.
Islamic countries.
Right.
Right.
We don't
And
have
what
to
I'm
go to
telling
no
you is,
hadith.
what I'm
We could
telling you
go
is,
to modern
sometimes people
video
don't
of
Yep.
agree
people
with what.
being beheaded or buried in the dirt and just to be stoned by the local community due to
Right.
infidelity,
But that doesn't
Right.
mean
due
it's
to
in the folds
stealing.
of
They get their
Islam.
hand cut off.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't
Yep.
necessarily mean that it's in the folds of Islam. They could be doing
Eye
something
for an eye.
outside the
Lex
folds of Islam.
talionis is in the Quran. Are you denying Lex talionis is in the Quran? Eye for an eye, tooth
Uh,
for a tooth.
an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth is in the Quran, and I totally believe it. But if you decide to give up and give up your eye for an eye for charity, it's definitely better for you.
What
So I
are
believe
we
I believe
talking
in an
Yeah,
about?
eye for an
what?
eye, tooth for a tooth. That's in the
What are
Bible
we
too.
talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying, excuse this nigga. He's a victim of Stockholm syndrome. He drunk a little bit of the colonizer's punch.
This
You
is
know what I'm
why
Uh-huh.
saying?
this is why I walked away from religion a long time ago,
Me too.
because religion it fucks
Actually,
people's
It
thought
makes you
process
agree with
up.
stuff that you know is some bullshit, unless you're crazy.
But
no,
that's
it's
the
some
Right.
thing.
bullshit.
But that's the thing is that they don't agree with it, which is why nobody follows any religion to the
That's
letter of the book.
I do
but
agree with it.
and that's what I was.
I,
I
be-
That's what I was
I believe
telling
it's
No,
Jesse the
distinct
other
from
people
day.
religion.
people agree.
No, you didn't, because
People
I just told you to send me that $1,500, nigga, and you denied it. Even though I just read to your ass damn near 7 scriptures that told you to get that bread up.
people agree with portions that they want to believe in,
No, I
and
believe
they'll
in that
Right.
too.
I believe
and that and,
it
and
ain't
that
about
and
what I
that's
believe
across
in.
and
It ain't
that's not
about what I
and
believe in. It's
hang
about
on
what the
because
believer believe
I don't
in.
want the brother to think I'm attacking Islam. I'm saying that across all faith systems they got people that do this shit, that cherry pick, and which is why we get
But I'm not
contradictions
cherry
like
picking.
the
I believe
holier
in
and
all
than
of the
thou
scripture.
thing. Because if that were the case for a lot of people that say they believe the whole scripture, they would be motherfuckers doing all the same exact shit, despite the law saying it's illegal.
No, it's the
Even here in
social
America,
construct of today's world that does not allow them. They say.
right?
Like I said, I believe in the scripture
So
fully.
right there with what the sister just said, that's right there. Them denying the word of God to
No,
conform to the
To fit
constructs
into
of man.
right.
So right there, that's already blasphemy and out the gate.
but I'm not denying the word of God. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
is. I just read
no.
7 scriptures to you, nigga, and you
I
ain't
believe in my
cocked that
Quran,
bread up.
brother. I believe in my Quran and I believe in my Hadith. You know, and
You don't
I'm
Which
believe in that
one?
shit. You just denied that shit by not giving me that money, nigga.
yo, no. I'm just
What
saying
part of that
that.
don't you get?
Oh no.
Nah, what I'm saying is, it's the standard.
Man, run them spiritual pockets, nigga.
It's the standard of the morals and stuff like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
What?
So
What
you can
did you
cherry
just
pick
say,
on which
bro?
one of them
no,
standards and morals
You
that you have
definitely
to
cherry
say.
picking, sir, because
Yo,
no.
what
nowhere
That's
the
in the
fuck
wild,
is
Bible
you
do
crazy.
it
talking
say,
about?
That's
I'm literally
wild,
nowhere
saying
do
crazy.
it
it's the
say,
standard.
oh, you get to choose and pick which one you want to
I did
adhere
not
to
say
and
that.
which one you don't want to do.
That's
What I'm
kind of
saying
what
No,
you
is
you're
just
Like
said,
you
supposed
my
know,
to do
boy.
all of it,
we always say the
regardless
damn
of
He
Israel
where
just
you
always
said
at
that
pick
in
and
shit.
choose
life,
and which one of these
no matter
beliefs and stuff they want to believe and adhere to.
but
He
now, see,
no
I'm
every
not
matter
nigga he
what
talked to
year
gonna
we
have a
I'm
at.
saying I
different
It
believe
never
in
perspective
all of
based
said,
it.
on the
oh,
different hadiths that they
oh,
accept
See,
and
that
reject.
type of mindset,
It's that
I think
simple.
more people should have. I think more people should look at all these world religions and 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 look at the moral compass between them, find a medium, and then
It's
follow
the
that.
standard.
They call that
That's
shit.
not how it go.
But
You could do
see,
that without religion.
right.
You
But
can
that's what
do
I'm
that
saying.
without religion.
Right. But the problem with that is
It's
that
the standard.
morality.
It's subjective though.
I don't,
So you would
but
still have to have some
saying
type
what
of
we have
concrete
is a
measure
standard. The
to
standard
use to
on
gauge for what is or isn't moral.
The
But the
laws of the
problem,
land.
again, morality
Laws of the land
is
is dangerous.
subjective. Morality is subjective because the law of the land,
well, I don't think it's
it
subjective.
absolutely is, because the law of the land and of nature is kill or be killed, survival of the fittest. The smartest, the
Right.
strongest, the fastest, them the motherfuckers that's gonna make it in the
Right.
animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, the like what's the motherfuckers like how many different animals? It's a gang of them. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But the men gotta fight to even get some pussy. You gotta prove you a man to even pass your genes.
Ain't
Cause
that
the
the
cause
Lion
if
King
you
that does
weak,
that?
cause if you weak, you don't get to pass your genes. You gotta die off. Cause because it's survival of the fittest. But we don't live by that law. Why? Because as human beings, we have developed what we call intelligence, and
No, we can't. They do.
That law.
our
Yeah.
intelligence has given us our own sense of moral superiority. And this moral superiority is where we come up with ideas like the morality of humanity. Like, I'm not gonna kill your wife because I don't want nobody to kill my wife. That type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Right.
gonna rape your daughter because I don't want nobody to rape my daughter. These are like unspoken human
Right.
morality. But
But if there's
but at
something
the
that's
same time,
unspoken,
not
would you
everybody
agree that
believes that
it's
though.
innate?
Huh?
I would think that if there's a common thread of like an unspoken moral law, and anyone who deviates from that is a deviant. For example, a rapist. To the example that you gave, I would think that the law that's being broken
Oh,
would be a sort of an innate law, right?
But
I,
it's not innate. It's
If
not
it's an
innate. But that's
unspoken
what I'm saying.
understanding between across several different demographics that nobody has to really say anything about, but once it's violated, everybody understand, or most
Right.
people understand that it is a violation. The other person that violated it is considered guilty, or the lawbreaker, or a transgressor, or something like that. I would imagine that I would consider that law, because what else would it be governed by if it's not innate?
re- real
But that's just the
briefly,
thing, is that it's not innate, because just because one group of people practice and move that way, don't mean another group of people practice and move that way. Yeah.
correct.
You
Now,
know, if just as an example, if I was to get lost in the wilderness or something, and I came across like some people living in the wilderness, are they gonna just not, what? Oh, that's a person. Let's not kill him. We don't know who the fuck this guy is, but let's not kill him because he's a human being just like us. And
No,
they gonna be like, man,
that's
what the
not how
fuck? Kill
killing
that
works,
dude. I don't
though.
know who the fuck that is. Smoke that dude because he's take that dude out. This motherfucker is, you know what I'm saying? He an outsider. He don't look like us. He don't even cut out for the volcano. Volunteer to do it and see it as a great honor. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I would say emphasis on I and me. My opinion is why I say morality is not innate. It's taught.
No. I'm not talking about all moral things
hold
that people
on.
consider moral. I was just talking about the ones that you said were unspoken.
By the way, Jesse, you can check the back chat. Sources have been provided from the Courtney's comments about Aisha being hit by Muhammad. I didn't even mention, but I shared in the back chat how Aisha got admonished for actions that she did against Muhammad when there was time of no water. And then Abu Bakr came around and said, no, you should be beat up for you not allowing the Prophet to be able to give us access to water. So all of this stuff is in your hadiths. All of this stuff applies to Islamic law jurisprudence schools. And you really don't see their application in the West because the West rejects that system of law. You're going to see this application and allowance for, I don't know, women who are fully
Back
garbed.
chat you dropped this in.
having wounds on
in
them,
the
but yet because she's with the prophet who can do no wrong, be justified in remaining as a child with somebody who's physically abusive to her. And his friends will be physically and verbally abusive to her by admonishing
Incorrect.
her in different manners.
Incorrect. It's known that the Prophet Muhammad did not abuse his wife,
I'm sorry he hit her.
even though it's lawful, even though it's lawful.
I'm sorry, the back chat is
Lightly hit your
filled with
wife.
but when
multiple hadith
he
references,
hold
sir, not Wikipedia links, because I'm sharing you the actual sources.
I
I didn't
thought
see
that
it.
the only
What
things
back
that
chat?
were I thought that the only things that were considered lawful, immoral, and all the things were the things that the prophet himself either said or did, and that was
Bingo.
recorded by his people. So how are you going to say that there was something that was done, that was something that was lawful, but that he did not practice himself? Because where would they get that from?
Well, there's a Quran verse that says directly that if a woman is what is the word?
You're not about to answer my question. I can tell by the way you're
No, I
starting.
am. The Quran has been revealed, and it says directly in the Quran that you can lightly hit your wife if she gets something like disrespectful. I can't remember what the word they use, but
Just give it a backhand. Don't give it a front.
lightly you can lightly hit your wife,
Or you can
but
hit her with the side where the knuckles at, but not the other side.
not too hard. You
Well,
know what I
not
mean?
the
So
knuckle side, not the
don't
knuckle side.
You're
not
justifying the fact Muhammad hit Aisha forcefully, caused her much pain, and in his action he said, "Did you think not I would deal with you unjustly?"
So I'm not familiar
You
with
think
this.
that that's I mean, it's in the back chat. All you got to do is start reading them links
What back
Courtney
chat?
Thompson shared, because that's all
What back chat?
hadiths. Those are all hadiths. Those are from the accepted websites that you require.
You said Quran or
Sahih
Sunnah.com.
Muslim. Sahih Muslim or strong hadith.
So which back chat you dropped this in?
Strong,
There's
widely
with the
accepted
one we're
hadith. That's what
in.
that means. Sahih.
Yes,
Give me a second. Give me a
I've
And that's
second.
shared
why and watch
multiple
them
links, by the way.
because it doesn't matter if it's Sahih or not. They're not going. They don't accept what they don't want to accept.
No.
Right.
If it's correct, it's correct. I'm not about to go against my hadith or Quran. And I'm to be real, I'm gonna
Well, that's
stand
because
on
that's
it.
your God. The
That's
book is your God.
interesting because a lot of Muslims go against these hadiths.
I'm not.
There is no
If it's a
singularly
strong,
attested, affirmed, confirmed method of the science of hadiths. That's universal.
so what I'm not. It's Silky's Empire, right?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the Sunnah.com.
And I've shared multiple links to different hadiths and different renditions of some of the same events.
So this doesn't the one that this brother put where it says Sunnah.com does not take us to the hadith that you have described.
How not? Because I'm sharing multiple hadiths with variation in the traditions. Some of them are not even about the very same event. Some of them are about other events, as I stated most recently. Aisha had Muhammad laying on her lap. Abu Bakr came in the room and got mad because they needed water. And the way that they were able to usually get water, apparently, is by using the show pony, excuse me, your prophet Muhammad, to have his divine communication, to, to get the things they needed for whatever instance and moment they needed it. Abu Bakr critiques and admonishes Aisha for preventing Muhammad from doing anything, even though he's sitting there laying on her lap. He even says, "You should be beat up due to you not allowing Muhammad to come out here and help us out."
Let me
And then
see.
that instance even talks about how she was caused much pain. All of the, by the way, all of these have that phrase in it. She was caused much pain by Muhammad's hand, essentially,
It
as
says
Aisha's personal testimony.
this is
It doesn't
hadith.
matter if it's Aisha's personal
It
testimony.
actually does, because in most science of hadiths, Aisha's testimony is one of the strongest
Exactly.
hadiths
But
testimony.
I'm just saying they always find a way to discredit it, even though the science of hadith is only you determine how strong the hadith is based on the closeness of the narrator to the prophet. But in I don't know how much closer you get than being somebody's wife, but they still find a way to discredit the hadith or find a way to say that it, even though it's considered a strong hadith, that it's not, somehow wrong or inaccurate or something. They'll cast some type of doubt on it.
Hey, can you bump the one that you want me to read? Bump the one you want me to read so I can see it because
You
it's
can
not
read all
posted
of
in the
your
chat.
religious material if you actually want to be a legitimate critiquer of your religion, a legitimate thinker about your religion. I suggest
Okay.
studying all of the material, and I didn't even share all of these instances according to Yadis when Aisha is reported of having pain exerted upon her by Muhammad,
All right. So
covering up the marks
The bruises and
or
stuff.
any of these things, because like there's some very traumatic stuff going on in the Hadiths related to Aisha and Muhammad. This woman wore veils. This woman was fully garbed, but yet she walked around for a period of time after being hit forcefully by Muhammad, covering up her wounds and other things of this nature. Considering, hey man, why is he hitting me? Oh yeah, this is the Prophet of Allah. He's the one with the divine communication. And what does
His
Muhammad
ass
say
Billy
about
Bob
Aisha? She's
Thornton.
my most beloved follower. Listen to her before you listen to some of these niggas that's following me. So I mean, I'm willing to consider all of these accounts, look at their differences, see if they're talking about the same events. I know you want to look at one particular account. Cool, we can do that. But we also got to look at the one particular accounts in light of the other accounts that might be or might not be talking about the same event, or the other instances in different accounts when Aisha is still reported to have been caused much pain by a forceful hit at the hand of Muhammad. And if there are multiple different accounts of her being in a relationship with somebody 30, 40 years older than her, who's physically hitting her for the sake of her own salvation, you're going to justify this because it's your prophet or because it's biblical and Quranic? Because this is the type of stuff you don't see in the Bible um, regarding the prophets or anything. Like you find the prophets doing some crazy stuff. David done got a nigga killed because he looked outside on his balcony and saw a bad honey had taken a bath. That's some crazy diabolical stuff. But at the same time, you don't find no Bathsheba was hurt because of a forceful punch or a forceful hit to the chest or wherever. Her being with David and then being admonished by David's peers, Nathan even, because of her actions in light of the need of the community. That's something you don't see going on in the Bible, but you find it in the Hadith material. And guess what this Hadith material is being used to justify in Islamic cultures? That women can get beat as a righteous action for disobedience against their husbands. The actions of Muhammad have allowed many a Muslim, especially many a Muslim men, to be completely content with being the stronger party in
Can
their
I
relationships and being able to beat up their women.
can I read something?
Go
I
ahead.
don't know how to pronounce this. Anisha chapter 4 verse 34. Men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear ill conduct, first advise them. Then, if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you once more, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted and grand. That's the end of the part.
I read these things so many times.
I
It's
believe
crazy.
that. I read the hadith where the Prophet Muhammad uh, struck her in the chest, and I believe that as well. I have no problem with neither the Quran verse that the brother has read nor the hadith that I just read as well. So I stand up on my book and
Right.
my
So you have
beliefs.
no problem if you're in a relationship that if the woman disrespects you or anything like that, first you're gonna abstain penis from her. You're gonna tell her, baby girl, we ain't fucking. Secondly, you're given the right as a divine command by Allah to hit her.
I
And if
have
she
no
changes her
argument
mind
against
now,
that.
you can go back to giving her dick.
I have no argument against.
What you think if your daughter was in that position?
You
Like
can't
I
ask
said,
people that kind of stuff, man.
He
brother,
completely agrees with these
They
sentiments.
would
Don't you
just say
hear
that it's
him?
okay. They would just say that.
I believe in my Quran verses and I believe in my hadiths.
Right. So if you had a
And that's
daughter,
until the time comes.
if you had a daughter and these situations
Your
occur,
belief in it doesn't
you have
change what
no
you've
right
been
to be
putting in
upset over the guy who hit your daughter because he's only abiding by the law of Allah.
Nope.
He hit her after he obtained sex from her because she wasn't listening.
Brother, I'm not about to go against my scripture. I'm a real
You
believer.
are. I'm glad you
I'm
brought up the
not.
verse. I'm glad you brought up the verse that you just said you agree with and have no
Hey,
problems
brother,
with.
I have no problem with.
So you have to go into the scripture in order to make that conclusive statement, that interpretive
I already know
conclusion
that scripture. I've
about
been know that
application
scripture.
of the narrative.
I've already pointed out that scripture.
Right.
I have no problem with it.
You're right. Because when we ask you about an
Hey,
event
man,
that's not
listen to these
Quranic,
niggas. I was just,
I know that's
you
why
just
I had
say, I
just
agree
off.
with
I
the
thought when I
Quran.
came back, it was going to be 30.
We
you
we
ain't
give
no
you a
point in
hyper.
talking to people about their
I
religion. Like
stand on my
nobody's
Quran
gonna.
yeah,
and I
these
stand
niggas
on my
be,
hadith.
ain't shit going on out here. And these niggas
Yeah,
need talking to, man. They need
I'm
help.
rocking with my
They
book.
need their soul saved, man. They need their soul saved.
Now, because of the laws of the land, I don't think like it's gonna be accepted. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we can do these things today without going to jail. But I do believe that
Yeah,
morally it's correct.
I wanted to take that one piece and incorporate everything and shit. You know, I could take another piece and make it
But
thick, but I don't think I want to make it
but
thicker.
see, what we're
Make it thick
outlining
enough.
though is like what the
Definitely thick
sister and
enough.
I were just kind of semi debating on whether or not it's something innate inside of human beings. Just because it's like it sounds like he's wrestling with the I don't want this is my daughter and I love my daughter and I absolutely don't want no man to beat on my daughter. But then at the same time, it's like, well, I gotta follow what the book says, so I can't denounce the book and say that I would have a problem with her husband beating her ass because that goes against the
By
book.
the way,
So that
this is a great example of compulsion in
I'm
your
about to go to
religion.
motherfucking Home Depot.
This is a great
Let me see. I
example of
instantly get a piece
compulsion in
of
your
somebody,
religion.
whoever in the back, can they go on mute, please?
I'm not taking shit on my stuff. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do because I was thinking about doing
Oh, thought,
a
it's thought.
walkthrough
Can
for
you go on
that.
mute, thought, please?
Oh, my bad, bro.
Yeah, my last comment on this issue is this is a great example of compulsion in the religion. The woman is compulsed. If she wants to maintain sexual unions with her husband, she is compulsed to be in obedient possession of the husband to such an extent to where it is completely acceptable to get hit by him and abstained of sex from him.
That's
That
crazy.
is compulsion.
You can you can
It's not
withhold
because she can choose to be she can
or
choose to leave. She can divorce. That would
but
be
you
right up
know
in
that
her
most
right.
women are not going to choose to divorce because a part of the mentality that women in Islam have is their submission to their husbands because
It's an
they feel
honor
like their
shame answer.
submission to their
All
husbands
right. Well, no
is
compulsion.
their devotion to Allah.
Honor and shame culture.
No
That's
compulsion.
exactly what this
If she
aspect.
that's what her decision is. You know what I'm saying? She decides on her
It
own
sound it
on her
sounds
own
crazy.
will.
Dude, it's just honor and shame. The woman will have this cultural aspect of honor if she does whatever the husband says.
Exactly.
And yet she gets even with Aisha. Aisha was admonished by Abu Bakr due to not allowing Muhammad to move. That's a shame. That's the shaming aspect of this honor and shame relational culture at the backdrop that's being pushed in Islamic jurisprudence. The honor and shame culture is a mode of compulsion.
No, there's no compulsion in the religion. The right way
There's
is
honor and shame.
clear.
There's honor and shame in it, isn't it?
Yeah, but there ain't no compulsion.
Okay. So guess what
you deal with it?
guess what you need to do to maintain your honorable status amongst your peers?
Brother, you can do whatever
Be
you want to
composed to
believe.
accept the shame. In other words, Aisha was composed to accept she did something wrong against Muhammad and probably Allah when she got hit by Muhammad forcefully, causing her much pain. Instead of being in her adult cognitive mind, she just fell in line with the dictation of Muhammad.
And then they already know that they was marrying these people young. So these girls, they are groomed. They think they believe that this is the way that there's things that they're supposed to endure to be a good wife and a devout follower of Muhammad and worshiper of Allah. Like, why are we acting like this isn't true?
I have no idea because that's a great point. The fact of the matter is, every woman that is being offered unto another man at the instigation of the father, guess what? They got a system going on where, you know what? The woman's compelled to want to honor her father.
Yes.
And being compelled to want to honor the father, they will do whatever they need to do in order to give off that portrayal, a facade, if you will, of being honorable to the father while they're in this new relationship. And the way that's going to happen is by means of there is no reason. Why would Aisha's parents even offer her up to Muhammad? I know a really good reason. Because Muhammad's the political power. With with the affiliation of Muhammad and Aisha comes a certain prestige to Aisha's previous generations. Her father's going to get certain recognitions in that culture. That's going to be an honorable action.
I can agree with that.
Compulsion.
It's not no compulsion.
It definitely is. What right?
She had
Okay,
every right
good
to say
Lord.
no.
Can we get down? Can we
every right to say
define? Can we
no.
get to an understanding on what compulsion is? Because I don't understand how it seems like there's a disagreement on what
Compulsion is
compulsion
force.
is.
It's by like force. You know what I'm saying?
Forceful
It's
coercion.
coercion.
No,
Yeah.
that's not good enough.
It's coercion.
Being forced to do something that
You can compulse. You can be have a compulsive behaviors and want to just eat. Ain't nobody forcing you to do it. You're just doing it because you feel compulsed. It's an urge.
An
and
obligation, a constraint, a force, a coercion, duress, pressure, enforcement, oppression, intimidation. Um, let's see. Like, hold on.
compulsion seems to be either something to do with yourself or an outside force. So
Yeah,
that
because
just depends on.
you can
It's
have
all context.
right, because you can have an obsessive compulsion to clean your house. Ain't
Right.
nobody
That's either
making you. Ain't
yeah,
nobody making you do that shit. You doing that.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
forcing yourself to do it.
So it's either something that has to do with you, or an outside force. That's what you're dealing. That's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, but because
Actual
we're
force,
talking about the religion
yeah, it's
Islam,
not
the
something
Deen
that's by
Islam,
choice.
we're talking about something that is outside of the individual.
Yeah,
But
well,
yes, you can force yourself to do certain things, like in a way, like you're moved to do it, like you have no other choice. Like if you walk in and see somebody beating up your wife and kids, you're gonna be compelled to whoop his ass.
That would be a very strong inclination.
Yeah, it's like it's like what you're saying, but you're making it more like a choice, Tim, and it's not a choice. It's like it's coercion, like they said. You can situations can coerce you. You know, not just necessarily a person. Like I have no like the famous song. What you gonna do if your son is at home crying on the floor?
He's hungry and shit. The city
That's
ties his
fine.
home. Because
Only
what you
thing
just,
to do is to
because
sleep
what
with
you
a
just,
man for a little bit of money.
right.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was compulsion.
but that I don't know, because even what you described, like you come home and somebody doing something to your wife, you beat his ass. I would say that that's reflex, not compulsion. I would say that that's reflex.
I mean,
Reflexes happen
they
involuntarily. Compulsion requires some type of active intention.
Somebody, just like if somebody hit me in the face, my reflex is gonna hit their ass back.
The
whenever they
reflex would
say they
probably
left
be
me no
closer to
choice,
guarding your face.
whenever someone say they left me no choice, that's the situations, the kind of situations they're talking about. When it comes to self compulsion, I had no choice. That was compulsion. It's the only thing you knew to do. That's compulsion. That's an example of it. That's not the only form of compulsion.
Oh, I dig it. When I put it in the proper context, I dig it. Like with everything, is context. I'm not gonna ignore context.
But in all fairness, I think what they're talking about as far as the compulsion in the context of what uh, I've been hearing, you know, when he's saying there's no compulsion, there's no one that's going to be like, come on, do it. Like no one trying to coerce you to do it. You got to go freely and willingly. You got to make that decision for yourself. However, I get the point y'all making that the whole Quran and the stories and everything is compulsing you to do something. The threat of going hell, the threat of not going to heaven, that type of stuff. That's compulsion, but that's not the compulsion they're talking about. They're saying no one's going to be forcing you to join.
Yeah, that's the modern interpretation of the Quranic passages. A couple of them that mention no compulsion, or the one that mentions no compulsion, that is a modern interpretation. There's some variation in those understandings, especially as the history of Islam's encounter and expansion with people occurred. Like, for example, the apostate wars.
Well, I'm not dealing with the history. I'm just saying what that passage meant. You know, even in the Bible, it's kind of the same way. It tells you to tell the truth, speak the word of God. If they don't accept it, dust the dust off your feet and move on. You're not supposed to sit there and force someone and coerce them into believing or accepting Jesus. That's not what you're supposed to do.
No, I
However,
agree.
just hearing the Bible itself does compel you to do it, because if you don't, you're going to hell.
Well,
But that's not.
it demands as an obligation
for the followers of Christ, at least, to go preach and teach.
But I'm saying the context is you're not supposed to be composed by people. People shouldn't be, forcing you to do it. It should be of your own free will, free
No, I
decision,
agree.
at least.
I agree. That's why you find a fairly universal condemnation by Christians regarding, say, the Inquisition.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect example. The Inquisition did happen, but it should not have happened according to the Bible.
Well,
And that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying with the Quran. Just because some people did some shit don't mean the Quran is telling them that that's what they were supposed to do. So I get what both of y'all saying.
I just think it's a little more nuanced.
That's what I was saying earlier, though, about the different how denominations exist because of different interpretations that people choose to and not to follow and disagree. The whole Protestants came up because of interpretation.
No, Protestantism came about because of practices and doctrines being formulated and authority being subjugated underneath one individual, namely the Pope of Rome.
And what was your boy named Martin Luther? He the one that broke away from it because he searched through all the scriptures and was like, "Hey, it don't say nowhere in here that we that you can absolve people from sin as a priest. It don't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
This whole order, this whole entire order that we practice is nowhere in the book."
Yeah, so what Martin Luther did was an internal critique as a member of the Catholic Church. By the way, he never denied being part of the Catholic community. He just denied Rome's authority and Rome's practices and some of their dogmas. Same thing with Calvin. They protested against actions, primary actions and teachings of the church that they maintained identity in, the Catholic Church. So I mean, when basically the 95 Theses is imagine being in a service, and the pastor sitting up there reading the passage, and as soon as like this is a consistent habit, like they're trying to get people to keep coming to the church, so now they're doing all types of stuff that the Bible isn't suggesting is the purpose for the church or the ecclesia, the assembly. That's what the critiques were from Luther and Calvin primarily. No, we don't. Where in the Bible does it say we maintain people from indulgences, or you can save yourself by means of paying a fee, and then receiving indulgences from the treasury of the church, and also from heaven, in order to give you some type of a religious prestige in your community? That was seen as weird and non-biblical according to Luther, Calvin, and the reformers.
Which is why, like I said, I don't subscribe to the concept of religion because even religion turns itself upside down because it's just man trying to govern man, saying that it's God.
Yeah, I don't think that was what the intention of either Mark or any of the reformers. Like, I'm Protestant. I affirm Calvinistic ideologies. I affirm some Lutheran ideologies. But one thing I know both of those guys would have rejected is the identity of a community after their own name. They were not seeking this type of esteem. They were just seeking to delineate and live out the biblical tradition to their best ability as a community. So, like, I suggest a healthy reading of, say, Calvin's Institutes, where you see his understanding of church, like the hierarchical order and order salutis of the church. Its intention, at least from his own perspective, is not to be like a dogmatic club, but in order to be a functioning community that's working together, not out here trying to lull people in
But
by
dogma,
means of,
and you saying that is the whole opposite of what ended up happening, because dogma became the foundation of religion.
well, rules of faith. I don't have a problem with that because you don't get a particular religious faith without some type of rule or standard or summary of their beliefs. And before you get,
I need to watch me do it tonight.
I'm sorry.
Somebody in the background, I don't know who, they wasn't on mute.
But yeah, it's a lot more than it's a lot. It was a lot going on for sure, but during the reformers period, but they weren't trying to create a new church. They were just trying to protest against the actions of the leaders in the highest seats. They weren't trying to, hey, we don't think the Trinity, the doctrines are false per se, no, because Calvin was put on charges for being anti-Trinitarian. It was against the law to be anti-Trinitarian, and he was put on charges for such. He was exonerated for those charges, but he was still tried for being a heretic. He defended the Common Core religion, and he developed a newer insight, newer nuance as it relates to the Trinity. He said Christ was also a say or autotheos. As the Father is autotheos, as the Spirit is autotheos, or God of Himself. That was a new development that went beyond the accepted creeds of the day. You got the Athanasian Creed, which was formulated around that time too. It's a pseudo creed, but it was formulated, utilized, rejected by Calvin, even though he was still a Trinitarian. So, I mean, it depends on what dogmas you're talking about and the reason why these brothers rejected them. They still agreed to the like much of the Catholic teaching system and their truths. They agreed to the core of the foundational teachings.
Magnetism is the closest thing we have in our physical reality, right? That will encompass what other people assume God is.
I'll be right back.